Okay, hi, and welcome to the audio commentary for the storyboard of episode number 110, School Nurse. You're listening to Will Shepard, that's me, I'm one of the audio editors, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Aya. I am art director for Home Movies.
And I'm Davio. I was one of the animators on Home Movies.
And that's it. That's all we could afford to put on this commentary. But that's all right. We still feel it'd be informative. This is the School Nurse episode, and Davio, start off. Tell us why we're looking at this collection of school nurses.
What we're looking at here is when we start an episode and we hear a new character, we get the audio for the new character. We don't know what she looks like. In this case, it's a school nurse. So we all work on different sketches of what she might look like. And then we get together and we just kind of choose who fits the voice best, who fits the spirit of the character best.
Uh-huh. And so everyone does their own, like, different
Everyone
versions?
does their own versions of,
all the animators.
Yeah, we have, like, dozens of school nurses, and, of course, we came up with this wonderful lady right here.
And, Sexy Mama.
Sexy Mama. And this is the model sheet where you see different eye expressions and that sort of thing to match the style of the show. And here we go!
Storyboard.
Yeah.
This is the first kind of way we used to do boards, the first season, more traditional-like, where they're just sort of like stills, very sketchy. I think we only had a few days back then to work on them, so they're incredibly, they look like a kid drew them. In the up-and-coming seasons, you'll see that when we do storyboards, they became more like heavily detailed animatics that are very different than, which are like detailed sketches that move to the audio.
Right.
Here, when we would draw these, we would do these stills, and then we would just listen to them with it was a radio, right, Aya?
Yep, we had cassettes. We were given cassettes, and we would hit play and try and draw to it and try and time it out that way.
Exactly. We just sort of start and stop with our space bar.
Very Stone Age.
Very Stone Age.
So we're working with very sophisticated cassette tape technology.
Exactly.
And so let's talk about the process a little bit, just so people don't know. It's all the audio is done first, right? You would do the audio
Correct.
from beginning to end, kind of like a radio drama, and get all the timing just right.
Right.
And then it's handed over to the animators?
Right, and then we get it. We go, like I said, work on new characters, and then every storyboarder gets, or every animator gets his own scene. We break them up, and then we had all different ways of breaking up scenes. Sometimes, like, Aya would choose whoever was best for that particular scene, depending on their strengths. Other times,
Some people were great at doing the movies. Other people were cute, so we gave them all the cute and fuzzy things.
Right.
How many people would be, sorry, Debbie, how many people would be on a team? How many animators work on an
Probably
episode?
around 7.
Yeah.
7
Wow,
per
the whole show's
episode.
done by 7 people.
Very small team.
And they would actually animate their own storyboards, too.
Right, which is very different than the way anyone else does it. We would kind of like everyone would multitask, and we'd storyboard our own scenes back then, animate the scenes, do our own backgrounds. It wasn't like a factory where, everyone just does one thing.
So people had a lot of creative control over their scenes.
And it's very noticeable in this first season where certain scenes look very different than other scenes. Some are, wow, that's really cool looking. Others are, God, that's horrible. So consistency was not our main, priority back then.
Yeah.
So even though these storyboards, from scene to scene, each artist would have a very different way of storyboarding, in the end of the show, it all just comes together and has one sort of look. And I guess that's your job, right, to make every scene sort of have the same look.
Try and make it look consistent. Yeah, it's really hard to do because some people are like animation gurus, like Damon, who did the first scene.
Damon Wong, yep.
Oh, yeah. And then other ones are really choppy, but, we basically did like 100 illustrations and slapped it all together to try and make it look animated. So that's what all these weird numbers are. BM07B, that's like Brendan McGurk, number 8, number 10, whatever. So, we would have tons of illustrations, basically.
And these are all basically codes for our editor back then would interpret these as what they are and put them, basically piece them all together in sequence. Whereas now when we use Flash, we're basically our own editors, and then we give that to our editor, and he pieces together the scenes as opposed to the shots.
I see.
Yes.
So let me ask a question here. Did we have any idea what we were doing?
No, we Tom Snyder Productions, our original name. Everything, the whole idea of the company was do it ass backwards, and we did that very well.
And look at these drawings,
Yeah.
ass backwards.
In fact, we would sometimes animate the whole show and then go back and do these storyboards afterwards, just to
Exactly.
be difficult.
Right.
That was fun.
Yeah. And it kind of worked with the style of the shows that we would do in that they're mainly improv. So when we get the visuals, we would kind of almost, it's like improving the visuals too. And the fact that they were kind of disjointed and weren't very consistent goes with the style of the audio part of the show. So it fit. You couldn't get away with this at like Disney.
Yeah.
All right, here's Mr. Lynch. Who drew Mr. Lynch for the first time? How did he?
I honestly don't know. I think
I
this
have
was
no idea.
before our time.
Yeah, I started both together, right? 106?
No,
or did you
I
start
started
before
104.
that? You started at 104.
Right.
I jumped on director's cut.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
105 was Chris Georginas, and
That's right.
I think he was created then. And this is Katie's first storyboard.
That's right. This is Katie
New
Terwilliger's.
animator who came in 4 years ago.
That's
whatever
right.
It is.
We love our Katie.
One of our most entertainingly named animators, I think, Katie Terwilliger.
Yes.
That's right.
No relation to Sideshow Bob.
No, but she wishes she
Not that I know.
was. And I would say that Lynch is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Yes. I love his mustache, his bow tie, and I think he's a great foil to McGurk.
You write that line ahead of time, Dad?
No, I didn't. But and I would say McGurk is one of my all-time favorite villains. I would categorize him as a villain, and I put him up there with Darth Vader and Megatron.
Really?
Yes, I would.
Excellent.
Yes, fabulous. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Oh, the sexy school nurse. Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. I think this took Jason's character to a new level when he started expressing his love. A lot of people say that Jason is their favorite character, and that they relate to him more than other characters. And I think it's because he's the most childlike of all characters.
Charming yet
Very
childlike.
charming, and very gross too.
Yeah, he got less gross as time went on. This was back in the snot-covered cradle
Yeah,
cap.
and I've talked about this. The first season, Jason's very gross but cute and kind of very timid. And as the seasons progressed, he became
got
more
angry.
more of like a wise ass to Melissa. In many ways, he started becoming more and more like McGurk. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that they're played by the same person, but maybe. Or maybe it was the influence of the candy buildup that occurred in Jason.
Yeah.
So I didn't see a lot of snot in that last shot there where he just sneezed. Is that,
Actually, the snot was there. It was light green, and it didn't really show
Yeah.
up well against Jason's orange.
Right, but in
Yeah.
the final animation, it was there, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a conscious decision. Was it made less green for the finished show?
No, actually, I think I tried to make it greener.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Green to
Oh,
stand
yeah.
out more.
No, the snots became a problem second season,
Yep.
maybe?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah, we wish he was still gross.
These are
kicking his
funny
ass.
because these are like this is back when we could really care less about storyboards, where we just wanted to get to the animation, and we would just totally blow these off and like almost purposely make them as crappy as possible.
Yeah. And I love those thermometers where you had to stick it in the ear, but they don't have ears.
They don't have ears.
No.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
at least we know now that these decisions were sweated over and worried about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Highly.
When you do see ears on the early characters, it's kind of weird. Because, we sort of like, people would kind of say, here's my character, and it'd get accepted, and then after the fact, you go, oh, they have ears. That's kind of not the style of the show, but oh, well,
Right.
this is home movies.
Right.
And Melissa doesn't have a nose, right?
Most of the women, right?
Don't have noses.
And why is
Josie
that, Aya?
Paula? Because we don't like them smelling things.
Yes,
No.
women
Well,
shouldn't
Nurse
smell
However,
Kirkland
the
right
nurse-
here,
But
yeah.
she has a very
She needed a
sexy
nose for a
nose.
doctorate degree.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh, yes.
That's-
That's how we would begin scenes.
That's
Yeah.
right. We used to begin scenes like I think Damon started it, and I kind of joined
Right.
him on that. And that we'd like to kind of preface the scenes with like a still that kind of
Right.
set up the
Which
the
we can't
shot.
show you for
We couldn't
legal
show that
reasons.
one because that was.
Except
there's
that
actually
it wasn't
Whoa, of
Davio.
course it
We're
wasn't.
in
It was
Britain
a
at
different.
an L.
Yes. And
And,
we
Cheers,
just,
laddie.
we're just in a good mood.
And the bartender is my friend Jessica.
Oh,
Who,
really?
yes, and in fact, the beginning of the scene, it's a bunch of my friends in the bar hanging out, and we.
Well, they better all buy DVDs. Or
That's
that
right.
was a
We-
wasted bit of commentary.
I and
wasn't
I've
it?
put a lot of our friends in these episodes. This is one of my all-time favorite movie
Love
scenes. Damon did this scene.
All the great movies, those are Damon scenes, usually. And Davio, I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Cole.
You mother. Anyway,
No good.
you son of
a.
So this is a lot more cinematic than some of the other, like obviously the soccer field already existed for Brendan and the coach talking on the soccer bench or whatever, but this is a brand new scene with a brand new background, so a lot more work had to go into the storyboard, right?
Well, definitely with the movies, we wanted to take them to more of a cinematic look than the flat, look of the soccer field and the Smalls house. And like the look of the show, I think Chris Georginas really came up with the look of the show, and it's kind of based off of those old Chuck Jones cartoons, like for Looney Tunes, where in the backgrounds were like just lines,
right?
And sometimes they had like a color to them, but it didn't always like fill in the whole thing, and really cool look to it. Looks almost like a kid drew 'em, which I thought kind of matched with the show really well.
Talk a little bit about the bodysuit decision. I know that was decided way back in the beginning when the characters were come up with, but sort of everyone's in pajamas, and people ask me about that all the time.
I probably think it's because Andre, Chris, and Kim, who created the show, they were here at 2 o'clock in the morning in their pajamas and said, "F it, we're drawing them all in pajamas with us."
Yeah, I mean, we definitely try like weird stuff. Like you try the most obvious ideas first, and then the more and more you listen to the audio, you just try like the weirdest stuff, and usually that's where you want to be. And the whole idea of the bodysuit was just this crazy idea that actually made total sense when you thought about it. That it kind of fit the show, that it's about kids, it's very kid-like. And there's something cool about an adult wearing
a whole
bodysuit.
I wish they sold them for
I totally
adults.
would, yeah.
Yeah. I'd buy a McGurk suit.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm still waiting for the home movies Halloween costume line.
Hey, who's not?
Oh, yeah.
With that cheap plastic
Yeah,
mask.
like a plastic McGurk mask and then like a
the eyes that
vinyl
kind of cut into
costume
you.
bodysuit.
Yeah.
Little kids dressed up like Walter and Perry.
This is one of my all-time favorite scenes, not because I did it, but because it's true. Like, this is what it's like to be at a bar and just failing miserably hitting on a chick.
So you drew from personal experience.
Oh my God, this is fabulous.
I sent them out for research.
Oh,
Yes.
That's right. I really made me go to a
looking
lot
at
of
'em.
bars and hit on some ladies.
We take our work seriously.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm drinking more seriously.
Yeah. He's got the rubber legs.
All right, so maybe you'll drive.
Yeah.
Remember when I was yelling about my mother?
Oh, the nurse. Everyone wanted the nurse. And there's the callback to that guy who banged Paula.
All right, now what was with that?
That
little
was
title card there.
Well, we used to be
Romance
owned
novel.
by a company, Torstar, right? That
Oh, yep.
did Harlequin
Publishers of Harlequin romance
did
novels.
the Harlequin romance novels.
That was sticking it to the man a little bit there.
sticking to the man, and kind of like this is sort of like the romance. McGurk's trying to romance the nurse.
Because I certainly did.
And this is something I like to put into a lot of almost every cartoon I do: the licking the fingers and smoothing out the brows.
Nice.
The ladies love it,
Oh, you should come in.
right, Aya?
That's how he picked me up.
That's right.
Yep. Now we're stuck together.
Yes.
Yep.
This new coffee grinder.
Yeah, and it was the Arabica coffee,
Arabica.
wasn't it?
That was actually my entire interview for a job here. Was they told me in the interview, your eyebrow looks a little out of place, and when I licked my fingers and smooth eyebrows, they just
dude,
said
you
you're
gotta
hired.
do it, man.
Oh,
was it.
yeah.
If you ever want to work
It's
for
true.
Soup to Nuts,
Wow, who interviewed you?
Davio.
Oh.
That's right. That's
Dahlia.
right.
I could put on.
And the biggest compliment I think I ever received is when I did this scene, and our editor, Rashava, looked at it and he said, "You know what, dude? I feel the breath coming out of McGurk." It's like, dude, man, that's exactly what I wanted you to feel.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Like I used to be. It was firm.
So I noticed these aren't squiggled, and the first season was the first season was Squiggle Vision,
Fat lady. You get
like our older shows like Squiggle Vision or Science Court.
Right, like Dr.
and
Katz.
Dr.
and whatnot.
Katz. And so, talk a little bit about how did these shows become squiggled? How did that process happen? Because I noticed it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Use that for your screensaver.
If you at home would like a longer look at those images there, we have some image galleries scattered around the DVD. You can take a look at all those stills, or you can utilize the pause function, I believe, on
That's
your
right.
DVD player.
Yeah,
But sorry,
utilize it
tell me
well.
about Squiggle Vision. Tell me at what point did the show get squiggled?
Oh, that was from the beginning where...
No, I mean in the process.
In the process, we would draw the characters on like a white background, and then there was this formula macro that would smear it 5 different ways.
Yeah, 5 different frames, so that when they ran as a loop,
It would give the little squiggle effect.
Right.
And it would slap it on the backgrounds, which were always still.
right, we did those backgrounds separately, and then it would smack them on it, and you'd have the squiggle look. But I think the original way they did it with Dr. Katz, they actually hand drew right?
Every
Wow.
frame.
And they said, well, this
Yeah.
sucks. Let's come up with a better
Way to do it
solution for that.
automatically.
We have computers now.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
season was
fine.
done on what program, Aya?
Animator Pro. And basically, we would trace over the model sheet over and over again, which is why the characters look drastically different from, scene to scene, where all of a sudden McGurk looks windblown or, someone's really fat or thin. And yeah. And look at that cute thing. This is a Kerry drawing.
This is a Carrie.
where everybody became plump.
Carrie drew everyone very plump and
I can see
round.
what you mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, although Jason is incredibly cute in this scene.
Damn cute.
Damn cute. Damn hungry hot.
Wait, write that down. That's a good movie title.
I love the little drawing he does of the nurse and him.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's a
cute.
classic.
That is a classic. If you don't like that shot, you are heartless. You
Because
bastard.
that's gold.
So, give me an idea of how long it takes to do, say, one scene. This is what, like a 2-minute scene or something? How long would it take to draw this start to finish when you first hear the audio and you're given your scene to the point when you like the animation is finished?
Like 15
like roughly.
days?
It was actually, yeah. We
Yeah.
only had like 15 days for the entire.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
it was 5 days for storyboarding and 10 to 12 days for
That's all
drawing
we had.
it all out. Yeah.
We'd all take like a few scenes and just kind of go to town, right?
Yeah, we'd take like 3 minutes each or something
Yeah.
and draw it up and
That would take you about 3 weeks.
yeah.
Yeah,
And we're
and-
still doing the same thing now actually.
Yeah, I think we have like
You're
a
still doing
slightly
this
longer
episode?
schedule, but
Oh
not,
yeah,
not
we're
too
still
much.
working on this episode.
Still working on this
yeah.
one.
This episode was supposed to be done over 5 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
You're
It
way
didn't
behind.
say 1999. It said 2000.
And then Aya would collect all these
99.
scenes and look at them and say, "What the were you all thinking?"
Right.
And then she'd stay up like really late one night and do as many fixes as possible, and then just say, "I gotta go home."
Yeah, and then the computer would crash and I'd lose everything. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but luckily at this point we were working with Cartoon Network. Khaki Jones,
Love her.
the best woman to work
Mad
with on the
props.
planet, best person to work with on the planet.
Yep.
Fabulous human being.
Oh yes. Cute as a button.
Cute as a button.
Aya, for a 5
We
foot
love you,
tall
Khaki.
Japanese American woman, you have a mouth like a sailor.
I'm
Every time Davio's quoted you, you've been swearing.
She speaks with a vulgar
Sorry.
tongue. This is
I'm
true.
so sorry. My mom would not be proud of me. So sorry.
Would you like to apologize to her in case she's listening?
Oka-chan gomen nasai.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And she also speaks fluent Klingon. Go.
Kapla.
Oh my god.
That's all I know. Shalom. I don't know.
You speak Hutt too, like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, no.
You know?
No. No,
Justin
that's not,
does,
yeah,
right?
that's not my forte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, back to home movies.
Well, you could do pickup lines. As McGurk's doing, his pickup line, what's your best pickup line?
You know, let me tell you, I don't use lines.
Really?
It's true. I like to do something visual and stupid in front of the ladies, and they
Like
start
lick-
laughing. And you get them laughing, right? You got to get it snowballing.
That's
you
a
know what I
nice
mean?
melter.
And that's when you pull out the lick the tips and spread the brows.
Okay, this again.
That's a
has to be
hidden
mosaic
Edgar
out.
Winter who's commanding you to come with
Davio,
him on a free
how many
ride.
times do I have to tell you? You're going to get us sued.
That's
That
not
is
Edgar Winter.
Edgar Autumn.
That's
Fall.
Edgar Autumn.
Yes.
Not the
Edgar.
albino guitarist.
No.
Surely not that dude.
No way, coach.
Hey, McGurk. Lynch. You lost, huh? You want a map? No, thanks. You got a
What's
minute?
going on here? Oh, I did this scene, right?
Did you?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You,
I think I did.
Really?
I don't even.
I don't
this is
remember.
like so many
Let's
years
say
ago.
for conjecture
Whatever it is,
that you
it's
did.
awful.
It really is bad. You know.
Yeah,
This
they're
really
not
sucks.
even looking at each other.
Stay tuned for like great stuff in season 3, but this stuff you can totally on because it does suck.
Although some of it's damn cute. Sorry, cursed again.
Oh,
Ah.
you're so sweet.
So now, Davio, if you had
Hold on,
a number of
Aya's
scenes,
actually rubbing my knee right now,
Oh.
which don't interrupt, Will, please.
you're right. You don't need. pickup
Although, if
lines.
you'd like to join in, please.
Rub Davio's
Rub
knee.
me. Okay, anyway, back to
Oh,
the show.
Yes.
I wrote it down.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
The
So why did
love
he just turn
letter.
black and white just then?
I don't
Any
know.
idea?
I don't know.
Laziness.
It was so like freeform back then. We would just do like sometimes it was in color.
Oh, yep. See,
that's
yeah.
probably-
Sometimes it was like
That might be
this.
a fix. No, I mean, but this is typically what your role would be, right? As the art director, is maybe if you had to fix a storyboard, you might redraw shots
I
after.
might
the-
redraw shots here or redo the whole thing. Oh yeah.
Jason.
Kid, I got no beef with you.
This is one of the rare scenes where Jason and McGurk are in the same shot together, which I love.
And,
Yep.
McGurk. Oh, and, well, I can see it's a bad time.
Everyone loves the nurse.
Oh, yes.
Look, I got a reputation,
Yeah.
all right? Nobody knows about my reputation.
Oh yeah.
and,
Did we end up drawing teeth on Jason?
I
In the
think
final?
we actually had to.
Because it was always weird when people had teeth on the
Yeah.
show.
Actually, they started getting teeth in the 4th season.
That's true. They
Yeah.
eventually started, and like Drew had teeth in 106, but Drew totally stands out so non-home movies that it almost fits for the show. That he was really good looking for the show, and he didn't wear a bodysuit,
Yep.
and he was a really good soccer
And he had
coach.
ears.
Yeah.
As a faker, so I
Yeah.
can enjoy the free time when being
The final illustration of Brennan getting sick, I always thought was awesome. Like he was really sick. Like you felt that, man.
No, Brendan. The doctor said it was psychosomatic or stress related.
This is one of those scenes where we ran out of time, so it's really, really simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is back. Yeah.
Now it can be told.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same gestures, same everything.
Just keep looping
It's
it.
just- yeah.
Like the old He-Man cartoons. Just go back to that stock footage and just reuse it 1,000
I
times.
think if you look in here in this episode, we used a shot of Orko.
I think we
just
did.
to save time.
That's right.
That Paula turns into Orko for one shot because we had the right expression. It was just eyes floating.
You know, I always thought they needed a magical friend to kind of create havoc, even though he was trying to do right.
We thought about intentionally jumping the shark by adding
Yeah.
like a great Gazoo Orko
Hey,
type
not
character.
to cut in, Will, but what's that behind Brendan?
Oh,
That's
there
the
he is.
gnome. I talk about the gnome.
Yeah,
I
a little
love
bit.
the
People want to know
gnome.
about the gnome.
the gnome was stolen from Shannon's house. What? 103? What was its title?
Like 102, 103, something like that, yeah.
The one where the bully thing.
Right.
And since then, we've been hiding the gnome in there. And then one day we heard from Khaki that she loved it. So we're like, oh my God, we can't stop. So
Yep.
the gnome is everywhere.
Yeah, and by season 3, we try to come up with more creative ways to get the gnome involved in the show without showing the gnome. So I think he appeared as cookies once and
Yep.
part of a guitar once, that kind of thing.
In the clouds, in the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
Running
story of
with
the gnome.
pigs.
Running.
Were you
with the
surprised
pigs.
when he turned up in that Amelie movie?
Yeah,
It's
you
very
know, and
similar.
there is an actual lawsuit going on.
Oh, right. I shouldn't comment
yes,
about that
don't
until
even
our hefty
bring it
cash
up.
award
Amelie, please.
transmitted.
What did they ever do? Just win an Oscar or two?
Spell any rumors that might be circulating about. I would never ever date any faculty.
Oh, poor McGurk.
Even if
You
they
dated
begged
a
me to
faculty
date them,
member.
I would
Did
say
I?
no.
I did. That's right. My wife is a teacher.
Yes.
That's right.
They would have to beg a lot in the next 60
He's putting
seconds.
himself out there. Poor guy. You just feel for him, you know?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
So you drew him in this stark existential loneliness,
You know what McGurk really embodies?
or did you just run out of time to do the background?
Yeah, we totally, yeah. We just kind of blew off the sketch of the big crowd of people. We just drew like circles, and then I think I got tired of just drawing circles for heads and just stopped. Said, well, we'll just handle that when I get to the actual scene. McGurk, to me, embodies the Red Sox.
Oh, yeah?
You know, we're just outside of Boston, and, you know, you love him to death. You want him to win, and
Yep.
he can't win.
Yep.
But you almost want him not to win.
He's
Although
his
I
own
do want
worst
the Red
enemy.
Sox to finally win. Except for Aya, who is a Yankee fan.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, come on.
There we go.
New Yorker.
Oh, God.
But don't be like McGurk.
All right, this is the end.
This is the end of the episode.
We hope you learned something.
We hope you
or-
learned something. You know, if you watched this and listened to this commentary, you must be a fan because I'm sure you've watched this episode 8 billion times. And I love you for it, but at the same time, you know, I think you join me in this sentiment that, you know, I think you need a hobby.
Get a
I
life.
think you need to go outside and
Take a walk.
take a walk,
Don't
learn to
let this
play the
happen
guitar.
To you. What happened to us, don't let it happen
Yeah.
to you.
Never.
That's right. So I guess we'll say goodbye now.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your special features.
You special person.
Ooh.
Nighty night.
Say nighty night.
Nighty night.